In the heat of June, amongst the wandering hills of a strange land known as Pocatello, a peculiar transformation occurs. This is no ordinary day. Here, at the edge of modernity, unfolds a spectacle of profound significance, a Renaissance fair, the mystic realm's fantasy fair to be precise. Much like a dream, this event is fleeting, but nonetheless remarkable in its lifespan. As we wander through these hallowed grounds, we witness the convergence of dreamers and craftsmen, of jesters and knights. Each participant a dedicated adventurer committed to reviving the spirit of the Renaissance with unwavering devotion. Their efforts, far from mere play acting, represent a profound yearning to reconnect with a world of deeper truths and simpler beauties. To many, the fair is a deliberate act, a communal ritual that brings forth the values and aesthetics of a fantastical realm that exists in the imagination. Join me as we journey through this living tapestry of the Renaissance fair, where each step is a passage into the depths of human aspiration, and every face tells a story of longing for a past that, perhaps, was never truly lost.
Your name?
Tiara.
And what are you dressed up as?
I am the fairy queen of the fantasy fair this weekend. This fair is an incredible opportunity for everyone to come together and share their passions for fantasy and for history and for art, and it's been so much fun to see everyone just kind of embrace their inner child. I think it's a really powerful escape from our day-to-day lives. We're working our normal people jobs. The fantasy genre just lets us pretend to be something so much bigger than ourselves.
In the bustling habitat of modern society, where technology entwines with every facet of life, a fascinating subculture emerges, offering individuals a chance to escape the monotony of daily routines. This subculture thrives in the vibrant environment of the Renaissance Fair, which present a unique blend of historical reenactment, fantasy, and community engagement. At their core, Renaissance fairs serve as a sanctuary for escapism.
I'm Dakota.
I'm Ben.
And what are you guys dressed as today?
I'm a bear barbarian.
I'm kind of my own mercenary.
Yeah.
I think it's an awesome way for everybody to come out, get their inner nerd out, be it fantasy or real. Everybody gets along and it's so friendly and you get to dress up. I feel a lot of fantasy, you always follow the hero, and I think that's really cool. Like, you always get to save people or have great battles and stuff, which isn't necessarily anything we do in the modern age, whereas back then it was just so normal.
I value the creativity of it, the freedom of expression, to have creative choice and to really show off what people think.
Providing a retreat from the stresses and pressures of contemporary existence. This form of escapism is not merely about leaving the modern world behind, but about stepping into an alternate reality, where the boundaries between history and fantasy blur.
My name is Patrick.
And what are you dressed as today?
Well, right now I'm like let's see, so 1700s, like late 1700s Scotsman, before the Jacobite Rebellion, roughly. Because, you know, kilts are still a thing and they were outlawed afterwards. But yeah, that's more or less what I've got. You know, I've got the cravat, the tammy, I've got the belted plaid or flayette moor, you know, whichever you prefer to call it. Great kilt, another name for it. Yeah, that's what I'm dressed as. this is my first time coming, but it kind of meant, for me, a way to step outside of the regular life and maybe get a little taste of something outside of the norm because, you know, I think a lot of people in the modern day are really tired of just a lot of modern life in general, you know. So this gives us a taste of something different, a taste of something older. I think a lot of it for me is just the general freedom that comes with it, the right to roam, so to speak, adventures, journeys, everything of that sort, stuff that you don't really get in the modern day, you know. You want to go to a 7-Eleven, you can just drive there. But in those days, you know, if you wanted to go somewhere, you had to commit, you had to really want it. And there was a lot more to be found.
Here, participants shed their everyday identities and adopt new personas, often inspired by the rich tapestry of the fantasy genre. In this realm, attendees can explore an idealized past where chivalry, romance, and adventure reign.
Deneb Edwards, Deneb Edwards. Well, I'm the owner, so I had to be here, but we come because it's fun. I just enjoy the atmosphere, seeing the people in their costumes, and even the people coming just to have fun.
What does the fair mean to you?
My wife actually got me into Renaissance fairs. We've been doing this for a little over a decade now. She's a costumer and she's really been into historical costumes, and so we went to our first Renaissance fair because of her, and from there it's just become part of our way of life. My kids have all grown up in it, and so it's part of our lives.
What do you enjoy most about the fair?
We like the food, we like the environment, we like the entertainment. It's hard to pick one thing. Going around through all the different vendor booths and seeing what's available, I spend a lot of my money at fairs.
What is it about the fantasy genre that speaks to you?
So Mike and I went with the fantasy genre because we do Renaissance fairs, and we love Renaissance fairs, but we needed something for everyone to come out in their costumes. I've seen a couple Mandalorians walking around, some Star Wars, Star Trek, and we just wanted to make it so that anyone could come out in what they wanted to come out in.
Is there a sense of community here?
Oh, definitely, yeah. The vendors, a lot of the vendors, we do the same shows, and so we've known each other for years. The entertainers, same way that we do the same circuits. So as far as the vendors and entertainers and the coordinators and everything like that, we all know each other. But then we get to see the same patrons over and over again as well, and they start to recognize us and we start to recognize them. Last year we had one group come up from Reno, and when I saw they pre-ordered their tickets. When I saw their pre-ordered tickets, I was like, they're coming from Reno for this. And we ran into them here, and I was like, you guys are the guys from Reno, that's awesome. And they're like, yeah, this is our first time doing a Renaissance fairs ever. And they were fully dressed up for it, and it was awesome. And then this year they came back, and I saw them yesterday, and I was like, oh, Sam, you're back, awesome. And we gave each other hugs, and it was great. So yeah, there's definitely a community here.
What has been your favorite moment so far?
For this year, Gypsy Magic's a great show, but just walking through, we added a Fairy Queen this year, and I stood over there for 10 minutes watching little kids just run up and give her a hug and like hang out and ask her questions, and so it's great watching the people interact with the entertainment.
Here, a profound community emerges amidst the vibrant tapestry of artisans, performers, and visitors. Along the bustle of tents and echoes of melodies, strangers become companions and spectators become participants in a shared journey through history. From craftsmen meticulously recreating ancient techniques to performers breathing life into legends, each interaction fosters a deep sense of connection and belonging. This microcosm of unity celebrates acceptance, diversity, and creativity.
What is your name? Why did you come to the fair? Okay, what's your name?
Marcel.
Why did you come to the fair today?
Well, Pocatello is the dragon. I came because it's really fun and I have this booth here. So my mom sells candles and jelly and her book, and then I sell my jewelry and artwork, and I get to be fed a lot of steak and fish and cheese, but also I have to get medicated, so that's...
How has the fair affected your artwork?
I'd say I make a bit more, at least dragon artwork than I would normally, and I definitely make more pins than I would, and I kind of am more motivated because I want to make things that I enjoy making and that other people are going to enjoy seeing and then using.
Is there a sense of community here?
Definitely, yeah. I love seeing other people, and especially other cosplayers, and then other people with similar art and just really cool stuff, yeah. And also similar things that I'm interested in. So I'm finding other people that are like in the same fandoms and such.
What is it about the fantasy genre that speaks to you?
I mean, I don't like sci-fi as much. I'm not really into space or stuff. But honestly, it's just kind of the sense of creativity. And I would say that also goes hand in hand with I'm able to make a lot of things. It's just a wider genre than a lot of other things. So, yeah, I mean, I was really into Harry Potter as a kid, and now I really like The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, and it's just that kind of thing that is really brought together, and it's just this whole vibe of this whole event.
Medieval artisans and merchants were the lifeblood of their communities, embodying the spirit of craftsmanship and trade that defined an era. These individuals, through their skills and wares, created a vibrant mosaic of culture and economy within the bustling marketplaces and quiet workshops of the Middle Ages. Here, this legacy is brought to life once more. Modern artisans and merchants, much like their medieval counterparts, dedicate themselves to the revival of these ancient crafts and trades. Through their work, they offer a glimpse into a world where the beauty of handmade objects and the thrill of mercantile exchange were at the heart of everyday life.
My name is Nick Roberts.
How did you get into blacksmithing?
About 5-6 years ago, a friend of mine and I decided we wanted to make our own knife. So we bought a little forge, got into my garage, had one too many beers, and almost burnt down my garage. And that led to me wanting to do that more, so I continued doing it, and here we are a few years later, 5 years later.
How has the fair affected your craft?
I've been doing fairs in general for about 2-3 years now, and this fair has been an absolute blast. I've learned really how to blacksmith and make mistakes in front of people, because I try a lot of new things in front of a crowd, which is dumb, but I do it, and I've learned how to just absolutely screw something up with grace, so that's been good.
Is there a sense of community here?
Yes, yes there is. I think the vendors, performers, all the entertainers and volunteers are all working together to make one big cool thing, and we're all in it together.
Are you a big fantasy genre fan?
Fantasy, yes, yes I am. Fantasy, I love fantasy genre. I grew up reading all kinds of fantasy and science fiction books, and so this is a natural step, I guess.
How would you say the fantasy genre has impacted your art?
That is an interesting question. I think probably just creativity, just thinking beyond the norm, thinking beyond maybe, you know, I could make something that looks normal, or I could make something that looks fantastical. You know, what would a unicorn carry in a battle? I don't know, let's figure it out. You know, like those are the questions that you ask with the fantasy genre versus, you know, not. Now I want to know what a unicorn carries in a battle.
All right, are you ready, everybody? Yeah! That was weak, come on! Yeah! All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Right. So this machine, as you can guess, is turned down because we're going to be...
Catapult, mangonel, onager, ballista and trebuchet. All relics brought to life from ancient times. These replicas, crafted from sturdy wood and iron, capture the imagination of visitors young and old. Demonstrations by historians highlight its mechanics and historical significance, launching projectiles high into the air amid cheers. They serve not just as an attraction, but as a symbol of human innovation, bridging ancient history with the present day, inspiring wonder and curiosity in all who behold it.
My name is Tyler Brown.
How did you get into catapults?
Me and my friend over here in the red, and two, I guess three really, of our other friends. We were about 10. We had seen a few of them in like games and movies, and we said, hey, that looks like fun, let's do that. So we went and talked to my parents and said, hey, we want to build a catapult, Mom. And rather than saying no, my parents said, cool, let's teach you how to use the saw safely. So we kind of got lucky in that we had parents that, rather than just stymieing it, encouraged us to do things like that, to figure things out and learn. Big machines, first off. They're super impressive, but they're not mobile. So one of our crew has a machine that's 32-ish feet tall. It's a half-size build of the largest trebuchet ever constructed. It's called Warwolf. It was used sieging Stirling Castle, but it was 64-ish feet tall, we think. Big machines like that are impressive, but we can't move them, right? So all of our machines have to have a couple of factors. Impressive is kind of a full-on tertiary thought. They have to be mobile, and we have to be able to control the power to run it safely. As far as I'm aware, we're the only crew in the country that can do this, that can run like big machines around patrons safely. And it's entirely because we've been doing it a long time, since we were 10 years old. And I'll be 38 in a month, so we've been doing it, you know, over 20 years.
What is it about the fantasy genre that speaks to you?
Oh man, so I do a lot of fantasy stuff too. I've been DMing for 20 years. I actually am going to be like a special guest celebrity speaker at a con in a couple months here, specifically on D&D.
What convention?
The Elko PopCon.
Okay.
Yeah, they have us doing I'm doing a panel on like the history of Siegecraft and how you can put that in your game or book. You're very welcome. Like how you could put that into your D&D game or, you know, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
But yeah, so as far as like what draws me to fantasy, I think the best way to describe it is an ad for Dungeons and Dragons that I saw in 2004. It was this elf guy in like armor, and he's just this epic looking dude with his sword, and right. And the caption underneath of it said, "Nobody plays a paunchy middle manager from a Midwestern paper supply company." So it's just like this escapism that everybody like has. Everybody has the thought of, you know, hey, what if I did this? What if I was that? And fantasy lets you like be in that world, D&D especially. But like, you know, everybody's wondered what it would be like to be, you know, part of the Fellowship or, you know, Harry Potter or what have you. So there's that. I also personally have a big thing for lore and world building, right? So like I love Tolkien because his lore is just so deep, right? Like you go on the Wikipedia pages for it, and it's like, you know, a link to this guy you've never heard of, that leads to another link that you've never heard of, to another link to another link. And it's like one guy wrote all of this and just made all of it up, right? So yeah, fantasy is amazing. Yeah, I love history too, though.
That's awesome. Would you say there's a sense of community here?
Oh yes, oh very much so. Ren fairs are, we call it the Ren family, or the Fair family. It's coming home. When we come to Ren fairs, and we're setting up, and we look around the fair, and it's like, oh, there's that person, there's that person. Oh, we haven't seen them since this fair. Oh, there's this person, right? It literally is like, it's coming home to your friends and neighbors, and something happens at the fair, your booth breaks somehow, and everybody around is saying, well, wait, oh, I got a thing that'll fix that, hold on. Hey, oh, you broke a board? I got one, just a second, you know? And so everybody tries to take care of each other at smaller fairs. We get invites to big fairs, but there just isn't the same community. People come up, hey, we're having a potluck, you guys are invited, you know, and that just doesn't happen at a lot of other places this way.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not always that way. You know, just don't mind the message.
Oh, no, it's so
12
fun.
people standing here. Somebody took the seat.
Oh, no, that's fine.
If you want to film, well, hang on. If you want to film, let's find a semi-sheet.
Okay.
The thing about it is, you know, you got people who, you know, leave the 9 to 5 and, you know, do what they want to do and make their passion. So basically, for Renaissance people, they're living their passion. They're making a living out of their passion. Some people like to perform. Some people are creative and make pouches or wood carvings, and they're making a living. This is their job. This is their life. Yeah. You know, and in every community, you're going to have the good, the bad, and the ugly. Okay, so and it's a few rotten apples that spoil the whole bunch, and give the rest of us a bad name or whatever. But what I found is in the Renaissance Fair community, for people who travel and do this for a living, they live life the way it should be. Okay, I've done it for over 30 years, performing in Renaissance festivals, jousting at festivals all over the country, working for the festivals, putting together festivals, and it's a sense of community. I was down and out. I literally had somebody take a shirt off their back, say, just give it back to me when you're done, or pass it on. And people are more caring and more attentive to other people at Renaissance because it's a sense of community. You know, they say it takes a village to raise a child. Well, it takes a village to survive, and everybody helps everybody else out at Renaissance festivals. Yeah. And the general community doesn't realize actually what it takes. Okay, when the patrons are here at a festival and enjoying themselves, those are our work days. Yeah. It's what we call school nights. While everybody's off on the weekends, we're working on the weekends. Yeah. You know, we're working to entertain you. We're working to give you the product that you so want to buy, and create those products. You know, and then during the week, it doesn't change because of the fact that after the school days are done, we have to work all week long to make more product to sell to the patrons that the patrons want, to hone our craft, to improve our acts, to improve our entertainment. So it's actually a very hard lifestyle working Renaissance festivals for your living.
What are some of your favorite memories of Ren fairs? Or one that really sticks out?
There are so many. I have to say it's when I was jousting. You know, after the show, we get off the horses, we come and we meet the greeting crowds and stuff, and then just having kids look up at you like, he's a knight in shining armor, you know. And I talk to the kids and I teach them about, you know, the 7 virtues of knightly virtues. You know, grow up strong, grow up smart. Don't let anybody tell you you can't become something. You know, I don't care if you want to be president of the United States, a lawyer, or a rodeo clown. If that's what you want to be, then by God, do it. Nobody said I'd ever be a knight in shining armor. Look where I'm at now. You know, and I teach them. I says, you stay in school, you learn you learn anything you can in school, because that's where you gain the knowledge to do whatever you want to do. And when I have parents and kids come back to me and say, thank you for talking to my kids, or the kids coming back and saying, you know, I just did this and I just did that and whatever else, you're having a positive influence on society and helping people grow up right and do the right thing and be the right type of people. Don't let anybody tell you you can't do something. Yeah. You know, it's like I also do Santa Claus. You know, and I get kids that come in, I'm too old for Santa Claus, and think, why do you think you're too old for Santa Claus? I says, you have to realize something. There's an old saying that says, behind every successful man or woman is a little boy or girl. And I ask them if they know what I mean by that. And they say no, and I says, remember when you were a kid, when you saw Santa Claus, the giddiness you got, the happiness, you know, or you just imagine you're doing something and you do it, and keep that in your heart. It's the little boy or girl in your heart that has the ideas and has the imagination. And then the adult portion of you takes those ideas and those imaginations and makes them reality. That's what makes you a successful person. It's not finances, it's not high status, it's not anything. It's being able to think of something that you want to do and doing it. That's what makes you a successful person.
We have a challenge show if you'd like to watch.
My name is Michael Stever.
And what are you dressed as?
I am a jester. It is a character that I created myself. It is Sigor Cicerus, the Black Bard. I came to have fun mostly. I have been kind of messing with people. They have a little trinket trade system, and I've been robbing people left and right, trying to build a reputation, and now it's finally come to. I've tipped some people off to arrest me.
What does the fair mean to you?
A way to have fun, a way for the common folk to enjoy each other's company. In today's day and age, I think that's more important than ever. I enjoy the whimsical nature that everyone can bring out within themselves. I feel like I'm truly myself when I walk around these stalls.
What is it about the fantasy genre that speaks to you?
Perhaps it is my ancestral roots. Perhaps I've done this in another lifetime. Who's to say? It simply feels right.
What has been your favorite moments so far?
My favorite moments is some of the times when I have robbed people of their trinkets and they laugh because it's all just fun and games and jokes.
Is there a sense of community here?
Of course. If there wouldn't be, then I wouldn't be having fun.
The fantasy genre, with its rich variations of knights, wizards, world building and mythical creatures, provides a canvas for exploring the depths of human potential and the complexity of our dreams. It invites us to question the boundaries of our reality and to envision a world where anything is possible. Through this lens, the Renaissance Fair becomes more than just an event. It is a living testament to the power of imagination and the human spirit's innate desire for freedom. In this enchanted space, the fantasy genre serves as a bridge between the real and the fantastical, encouraging us to explore our own narratives and connect with others on a profound level. It is a celebration of human creativity, where the impossible becomes possible. And every individual is invited to contribute to a communal mosaic of wonder and inspiration. The Renaissance Fair, in all its splendor, reminds us that the true magic lies not in the stories themselves, but in our ability to dream them into being and share them with the world.
What is your name?
Michael Collins.
And how did you come about starting this fair?
I have been selling swords and knives and things at Ren fairs and reenactment events since the late 90s. So it's just been, started off kind of a hobby, turned into a passion, and now it's turned into a job. So it's, I think almost everybody that vends at fairs that does what we do has that dream of having their own fair. And we saw a need here in Pocatello. We're tired of having to go to Salt Lake to go to everything cool, so we decided to try and build one here.
Yeah. What does the fair mean to you?
It's a place to let out your inner geek. It's become more mainstream now than it used to be, but back in the day there weren't a lot of places for you to express, you know, the things that you love, the anime, the Lord of the Rings, you know, Game of Thrones, all that stuff that you get passionate and want to be a part of. Here you can do that. You can dress up like your favorite character from an anime or movie or show, or your own, you know, creation, your D&D character, whatever. It's the outlet to be that part of yourself that you don't get to do on the everyday basis.
What is it about the fantasy genre that speaks to you?
Oh, I don't know. I've always been into that since I was a little kid.
Yeah.
My dad was in the Navy and he brought back a couple of swords for me from Spain, I think. And it was just, oh, this is so cool. And then I got into Dungeons and Dragons as a kid and all the fantasy novels and things like that. And so it's always spoke to me. I just love it.
Is there a sense of community here?
Absolutely. At other fairs, you go, vendors and things like that we go to, we're a fair family. You hear that said all the time at fairs because some of these people, the only time you see them is at the fair. So it's almost like a family reunion every time you go to a new fair. It's like, oh, hey, I haven't seen you since the last one or last year or whatever. And it's all people that are into the same thing. I mean, we're all enjoy the fantasy and sci-fi and all that kind of stuff. So you're meeting like people. So it is very much a family kind of a thing, and you make a lot of really great new friends at things like this for sure.
How does it feel kind of creating something like this?
Stressful. It's a love-hate relationship, I think.
Yeah.
When we're all done, when things go well, we're like, oh, okay, that was great. Everything went off with a hitch. 2 days ago, 3 days ago, I'd be like, why are we doing this? This is insane. It's literally outside of our volunteer group, which is great, amazing volunteer people. It's Denham and I. It's 2 of us that are putting this all together and working jobs on top of that and vending at other fairs on top of that. It is a lot of work, but it's a passion thing. We love it, and we really want that to be here. We want to share that with everybody in the area because we live here. This is our community.
Yeah.
Performers, artists and bards play a vital role in bringing history to life. Clad in period attire, they entertain with ancient melodies and witty tales that educate and captivate audiences. Through their artistry, these performers not only preserve cultural heritage, but also foster a profound sense of community among spectators who share in the appreciation of history and artistic expression. Their presence enriches the fair, embodying a collective celebration of creativity, tradition, and the enduring spirit of the medieval era.
So we will need a 10 or higher. Any volunteers? Would you like to roll the dice? All right, go ahead. Looking for a 10 or a higher. A 12! 2, 3. We have a 6 and a natural 1. Oh no, you don't earn it.
Oh dear, it's getting hot and smoky. Oh, look,
my lullaby voice.
This is very unsilly.
It is gone. Hey, 14.
Wait, so you're telling me in 10 years I could double my money?
All right, what is your name?
My name is Daniel Sheldon. First name D-A-N-I-E-L, last name Sheldon, S-H-E-L-D-E-N.
What are you dressed as?
I'm dressed as a bard or a dungeon master, a player of many sorts.
Why did you come to the fair today?
Well, we were offered an opportunity to perform one of my favorite sets, which is Dummies and Dragons, and it's an improvised D&D set, and it's a very, very silly adventure all about 3 adventurers trying their very best to mess up every plan I've ever had.
What does the fair mean to you?
I think it's the start of something new in Pocatello, and the fact that everybody here has been so kind and amazing. I think it's really kind of like a safe haven for a lot of people who prefer kind of nerdier things, and it's fantastic.
What do you enjoy about the fair?
The people are so much kinder than I expected them to be. I expected people to be nice, but people are over the top. They're just so wonderful and kind, and people are wonderful audiences. They've been attentive, and it's just an absolutely wonderful environment. Everybody here wants to have fun. Everybody here wants to just be silly, have a great time, and showcase off some of their nerdier sides.
How has the fair affected your guys' kind of craft or art?
You know, it's something that we wanted to kind of make sure that we can present this in a more modified or condensed version. Usually our whole show is like an hour, hour and a half, and we condense it down to about 25 minutes for this particular show. And so it's just about trying to make sure that we can get as many people as entertained as quickly as possible, even if they're not necessarily like typical improv fans. Most people are at the very least D&D fans who are here.
So would you say there's a sense of community here?
Absolutely. One that I didn't expect. This is our first year performing here, so we kind of expected that we'd come in, we'd perform, we'd leave, but so many people have been really supportive, and we had somebody that was performing before us, Archer Flynn, who was like, hey, do you guys want an accompaniment? And we said yes, so then he accompanied us for a number of shows, and it was a wonderful collaboration.
What about the fantasy genre that speaks to you?
I think it's a place where people can live out their wildest dreams, where sometimes the real world is a little harsh, a little mean, a little cruel, but we can all escape that into where we can be who we want to be. Whether it is great heroes, whether it's bards, inspirational friends, healers, it allows people to be who they really want to be, and I think that's wonderful. Yeah.
Alright, what is your name?
Archer Flynn, the Sentinel Rose, the Cut-Purse Prince, the Balladeer Bard. But here I'm just your shanty man.
Why did you come to the fair today?
Oh, well, it's a lovely day for it. I'm out here, I'm performing, I'm larking, I'm having great success. People are keeping their purses hardly attended at all here.
What does the fair mean to you?
What does the fair mean to me? It is a community here. We're all like a family. We look out for each other. We keep each other safe when dangers arise. We provide a safe place for people to be who they are.
How has the fair impacted your art?
Massively. In almost every way. My summers are spent from April to November. I'm able to make a career out of performing at festivals, and it's enabled me to pursue my art at all, instead of being stuck behind some desk working for some oligarch.
What is it about the fantasy genre that speaks to you?
I suppose fantasy provides for me I'm not sure. I mean, I suppose I was raised on things like Lord of the Rings and stories of King Arthur, but it was parallel with, you know, stories like Star Wars and, you know, like the sci-fi and high fantasy sort of grew up side by side, and I don't know, I guess it was easier for me to find sticks on the ground and pretend they were swords, than to find sticks on the ground and pretend they were blasters. It's just the side of the fence that I landed on.
Yeah.
Financier, my boy, why not consider a more challenging career? Hey ho, we'll cruise to foreign shores, and we'll keep your mind and body sound by working out of doors. True friendship and adventure are what we can live without. But when you're a professional pirate, that's what the job's about.
In the realm of modern sport, armored combat fighting emerges as a curious phenomenon. Warriors don meticulously crafted suits of medieval armor and wield blunted weapons with precision on contemporary battlegrounds. Each movement, born of rigorous training, echoes the ferocity of ancient knights. As they clash in these arenas, one cannot help but ponder the deeper resonance of their endeavor. A homage to a bygone era, seeking to understand honor and valor through sport and spectacle.
Okay, what's your name?
I am Richard Persinski.
And what are you dressed as?
Right now, this is just, I do a bopper sport LARP as well. This is just my armor for that. I'm just kind of wearing it around before the fighting starts back here. Just kind of advertising for a buddy of mine.
Is that why you came to the fair today, for the fights?
Yes, that's why I run the East Idaho portion of Idaho Armored Combat.
How did you become this type of an athlete?
A lot of hours, a lot of sweat. It's a lot of work. It's both physical work and behind a keyboard, just trying to get everything planned, worked out. It's a process.
How has Renaissance fairs impacted your sport?
They are an amazing tool for recruitment. Most of the fighters I have locally, I recruit from last year's Ren Fair here actually, and they are amazing people. I love them to death.
All right, where are you at?
You're good. So what's your name?
William O'Keefe.
How did you become this type of an athlete?
I've done martial arts my entire life. I've got about 25 years of experience. I'm actually working on opening up my own gym at this point. And this sport specifically, I found it through social media. I found a team that was out in Oregon. I started becoming friends with a few guys. I went to one of their training camps during a winter. Didn't have any armor or anything, but they were so aggressively inclusive and welcoming. They put me in touch with our team captain. He's my co-captain of Idaho Armored Combat, the Rat Pack team, Ethan Watt. Put me in touch with him, and then within a year and a half, 2 years, we have a competition team. We're sitting at 2.5 years now, and we just took silver at a national competition.
How has the fair affected your sport?
The fairs are probably the best source of recruitment. You get people from all walks of life that come through these Renaissance fairs, and so many people see this and key up. They're like, wait, this is something that's here, local, this is something that's actually attainable? Yeah, come out, check us out. We've got armor you can borrow, you can train. Even if you don't want to get an armor, you just want to be support. You want to play Squire, go for it. We need everyone like that. So we get people from all walks of life that come and volunteer to do so many things for our team.
What is it about the fantasy genre? Do you like the fantasy genre?
Oh yeah, I've read fantasy fiction my entire life growing up. You always dream of being a knight, and growing up doing martial arts, I was like, man, that'd be even cooler. And now I actually wear a Mongolian kit just because it goes with more of my style of fighting. You always want to be a knight as a little boy growing up. And now I'm actually here with my family, my wife, and I have a 6-year-old son and a 3-year-old daughter. And we go around to Ren Fairs all summer, camping out, going around the Ren Fair, and my son gets to be a squire in real life. Swords, shields, and armor are an everyday part of his life.
Is there a sense of community here?
Absolutely. Like I mentioned before, the aggressive inclusivity. Like, people will chase you down. If you look like you're uncomfortable at a situation, we'll bring you in, figure out what's going on, make you one of us. One of the things that we talk about here, the actual sports name is Buhurt, B-U-H-U-R-T. And one of the things that's very common in the sport is we say Buhurt is love. Even though we're sitting there fighting our friends, hitting them in the head with an axe, it's all done with love. After the fight, we all laugh and hug and move on, go on to the next fight, and figure out what we're gonna do, how much more fun we're gonna have.
That's right, all right. I'm sure you got plenty too. Okay, what is your name?
I'm Alex Weiler. Harbinger of Odin is my stage.
How did you become this type of an athlete?
Well, actually, I was joining the Ren Fair, walking around as a squire one day, saw the Salt Lake City Crusaders fighting, talked to them, and then joined up about a year and a half ago. And last August, I got my armor and have been fighting since then.
What does the fair mean to you?
Oh, you know, community and a place to come have fun, get lost in the adventures, in the shops, and all the things going on. It means a lot.
What is it about the fantasy genre that speaks to you?
I think it's the lore, the honor, the, you know, doing what's right, fighting, never giving up, all that glorious sort of chivalry, you know, it speaks to me.
And how has the fair kind of impacted your sport?
Oh, well, you know, the fair is what really helps us grow the sport. It's where we get most of our new fighters, meet lots of people, and it's a great time to fight and put on a show for everyone so they can come see it and learn about the sport. And honestly, it's where it really started for us.
Nice. There we go.
Big boys, all good? 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 I think we're stuck. Big, all good? What's the net? He's the last man standing in a lot of areas. And just like Austin, he comes out on top. So this will be a good one. Oh, they're going to get it. Oh, watch the body. Oh, incoming. Watch the body. Yeah. Oh. You put a warning. Get away. Oh, yeah. Push, push, push. And it is the 4v3. Bodies, you all good? Good. 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 Appreciate your support. Man, look us up on social media. Yo, great. Oh, are you okay, dude? Thank you for coming. Thank you for enjoying the fair. And we will see you next year. Can we get a Squire on first? Go, Squire. Sonny. I went down so early. I was like, I'm good. They're down. Stay down.
Here, I got you, boys. Yeah. Get your hand up, drop the gun. Let's like a jump. Okay, got it. Nope, not first.
Oh, you already got it off. Okay, cool. Got it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, that was good.
Those are the repeatedly. I'm just like,
That's it. Last call. Please bring your purchases up to the front. We'll get you checked out immediately. Last call.
What people need to know about the fair is that not only is it a place to escape, you know, everyday life, you know, for the patrons, people that pay and get in the gate. You can make connections with people and develop great friendships. People who actually have booths in these fairs, 90% of them are fun-loving people. They like to meet people, you know. If you want a special order, you can probably talk to them. They'll make it and send it to you. But you have to realize that, you know, we try and treat people the way people should be treated, the way society has forgotten. You know, people are in such a hurry now. It's me, myself, and I. But when you go to a festival such as this or anything similar, you know, we're community. We help each other out. You need something repaired, we'll repair it. You need a shirt off my back, here's your shirt off my back. You know, it's the way people should treat each other. And it seems like normal society has forgotten that over time. There's a saying, a lot of fairs take the ending soliloquy at the end of Shakespeare's plays, that we are just but mere actors. And just like the, you know, cloud clap towers and the racks of costumes, we disappear, but we come back each year. Make sure you take that in. Make sure you remember it. Make sure you remember the feelings that you have here at the festival and spread that to somebody else. Because if you do that, this world will be a much better place, and every day can be a festival.
As the sun sets on the Mystic Realms Fantasy Fair, we contemplate its fleeting existence, a convergence of dreams and realities where artisans resurrect ancient crafts, performers summon tales of heroism, and visitors unite in a shared quest for adventure. Amidst the laughter and spectacle, this event transcends mere fantasy, becoming a sanctuary where strangers forge bonds and ordinary life gives way to extraordinary tales. In these moments, we glimpse the profound power of community, where imagination flourishes and the spirit of adventure thrives, reminding us of the enduring magic found in collective dreams.
Everything is normal here, and
get it! All right, we've got it.
What do we do? Do we feed it to the dragon? Do we salvage the parts?
We.
No,
we can't eat it.
Can't eat it.
Ooh, let's give it to the fairies.
Oh, the fairies!
To the fairies!
What are you dressed as?
I like turtles.